Welcome to the Sales Strategy Bootcamp with Romeo, Mabasa. In this episode, we'll look at the importance of managing your sales pipeline. One exercise that I encourage salespeople to do is to understand your overall company strategy. Why does your company exist? And why do they sell what they are selling? And why did they hire you to come and sell what they are selling, their services and products? It's very important to make sure that you look at the bigger picture, and that will help you understand how important your function as a salesperson is. One of the most interesting things you can do as a salesperson, when you have a team that works on the company's product strategy, come up with new products and services to sell, find a way for you to be part of that conversation, because your market knowledge will come in handy. You talk to customers all the time, and imagine people sitting in isolation trying to create a product that you must sell. Be part of the conversation. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to create sales policies and guidelines, because your business will grow and you need to hire other salespeople. And if you don't have these things in place, you will have a problem. Similarly, if you are a salesperson hired by a company, make sure that you go through the sales policies and guidelines, because this, trust me, will save you a lot of headaches when you know what the company expects of you. Part of growing your business, you need to have policies that deal with anti-corruption and bribery. And this is very, very important, because when you hire new people, they need to know what your organization stands for. The same, if you work for a company, they probably have this policy. Make sure that you read it, make sure that you understand it, make sure that you know your company's position. Most organizations have a customer relations management, but it's very important that as you come in, you need to understand the history of accounts. So spend a good considerable time going through the current accounts that the organization have, especially those that would have been assigned to you. And if you are an entrepreneur, you have to immediately invest in a CRM system. In the next section, we will focus on the importance of prospecting, and also we look at the various interventions that you can put in place in order for you to prospect effectively. Now, prospecting is our ability to generate leads, to find people to talk to, and close business as often as you can. Prospecting number one looks at cold calling, and cold calling is really finding leads, finding people that will be interested in what you are selling. You don't know them, you haven't spoken to them, you just pick up the phone because you just have their number, and then you just call them and start explaining what you are selling. And there are people who are really good at this, and you have to get good at it too. Prospecting number two, we look at strategic positioning. And for example, here you can look at an existing account, and then you study the history, you see what they bought previously, and then what you do is you put together a proposition where you can say, I see you are using this system. By the way, there is this new one that will take you to the next level of your business, so you can close more deals. Prospecting number three, we look at events and briefings, and we can also look at exhibitions, workshops, webinars that are hosted by like-minded people within the same organization. You need to know about these things and make sure that you are there to mingle, to network, to meet more people, because perhaps your prospects are sitting there. So Google, for example, will have alerts that will always tell you when these things happen. Prospecting number four, we look at conferences. You know that decision makers will attend these conferences. You can also buy a package where you either speak or you host a session if your company can afford it. But make sure that you map all the conferences the whole year to to make sure that you can attend and create and increase your prospecting efforts. Prospecting number 5, we look at case studies. Your accounts will get to a point where they are mature, customers are happy, things are going as they should, and you can ask your customer and say, do you mind becoming my advocate to tell people how awesome our technology or our service or product is? Some customers don't mind. They can actually do that for you as well. Prospecting number 6 looks at industry visibility of your organization. Which industries do you currently play in? Which industries pay your bills? It's very important for you to then start investigating industries where you have no visibility and start finding those companies within those industries, and that's how you grow your pipeline. Do the exercise, it's going to be worth it. One of the advice that I give a lot of salespeople is that don't just add leads into the CRM for the sake of adding them, because you'll find that you don't qualify your leads constantly, and then as a result, people fall off, people don't answer their emails, people don't respond, or people lose interest, and now you have already qualified a lead. So make sure that you are truthful and constantly qualify all your leads. As a salesperson, you have to get as many leads as possible. You have to talk to as many people as possible. And over time, you qualify them. And the funnel approach, you talk to everybody, but you need to start narrow down to make sure that your close rate is increased. So make sure that you just don't talk to a lot of people, but you have no funnel approach where you narrow down so that you can close as many leads as possible. And of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, that's Maromza, and then subscribe to this channel, because without fail, I post fresh content every week. Encourage your fellow business people, entrepreneurs, and they must come and subscribe, because we will help them grow their business.